FOG Andrew here, and the coach here for Family Gamers. Welcome, War Gamers, to an exciting, awesome unboxing. Today, we are unboxing the Unmatched Suns Origin Box with 2 cameras, which is crazy. Crazy. Now,
I could not wait to get this box. I couldn't wait. I mean, I was excited about releases from Unmatched, but this is the one.
Yeah, and I knew we had to have Coach on for this unboxing.
Yeah, I refuse not to be on.
Yeah, so we definitely had to have Coach on here. So in the box for this new Unmatched set, we have Oda Nobunaga, and Tomoe Gozen. So a little bit hectic trying to get this box. Brains and Brawn that we tried getting when it came out and didn't really work out. We got it a little later than I wanted to, but this came out the 21st of February, and we received it at
2 days later.
Yeah, 2 days later. So kind of happy about this. But as you see, front of the box, back of the box. But we're gonna open it and get into it so that we can actually, open the box. So now,
well, that's the whole point of the unboxing.
Yes, because I don't want to see pictures. I want to hold the stuff in the box. So there's a weird QR code there.
Looks like it's on fire.
It's a flaming barcode there. All right, so you just gotta smell the inside of that new box. Beautiful. All right, so of course we're getting the core rules for Unmatched. So everything you need to learn how to play here, and then free for all team play. All your rules in here. What I like about Unmatched, one of my things that I like about it, is that like this you can play on its own. So it's got everything you need to play on its own. You don't need to get any of the other boxes. So everyone comes with a core rules thing. Then we also have a little pamphlet for some of their stuff. Yeah, I don't care about it either, but because we have everything on there. This is what kind of matters. The special set rules for the box. So for Oda and Tomoe, look at that, it opens. And then the special rules for the board, or the rules for, that's a pretty cool picture of Tomoe there. But all right, so here we have the health dials. So looks like Oda comes with 2 sidekicks, 2 honor guards, and Tomoe's by herself. So there's all the stuff there, and pretty nice artwork here. I really like Oda's there with all the flames and everything. Looks pretty cool.
Right.
Anyway, let's look at the board before we get into anything else here. So you have a standard 2-player board. This is the Azuchi Castle. So it looks like there's 3 levels here. So you have this level, top, and then another middle one, and then it looks like this is 1 level, and then this is the second one. Then you go down the stairs. That's kind of interesting, because then you have like spaces here that are not necessarily adjacent to these guys, or in the same zones. Yeah. So it's kind of an interesting thing. And then on the other side here, you also have the same exact thing, but the zones are in the rings, which I'm not a fan of. I prefer them to be on like a full circle.
Why is that like that?
Just so you can see more of the artwork.
I would have liked to have like maybe another thing, like maybe a Japanese battlefield or something.
I agree.
Like a feudal Japan, maybe some something outside.
Right.
I mean, the artwork is nice, but
they did say in either in a Discord post or something that they are gonna start doing. They're gonna kind of stop that and do more to matte board things. Yeah, and whatever. It's not that big of a deal. But here's the good stuff. If you want to do the honors here.
All right, so we'll go to Oda first. All right. Most important thing is the miniatures. So he's very nice. Okay, typical samurai.
Yeah.
With this, these guys, especially the higher ups, their armor was probably the best, but it's more ceremonial. So it picks it good. The only thing is he should have a bigger crest, because if he's the head dude, they had the biggest. The bigger this was, the more power they had. So
right.
But other than that, very nice mini. Okay. Sword's a little big, but I guess so it doesn't break.
Yeah, it makes sense. And then you want to take a look at Tomoe there.
So
is that, we were talking about this before. I was very confused on what like this is, but then I was like, oh, it looks like she's got like a
yeah, she has a naginata,
naginata.
but it's a little thicker. So it looks like a Chinese kwando, which is basically a Chinese naginata, but because it was a very thin blade, which was basically the naginata was made from samurai swords,
Right.
and same thing. But yeah, still cool. Their miniatures are always really nice.
Yeah.
Quick acid wash and whatnot. So,
Definitely.
Yeah.
And of course, you have to talk about the insert. You have spot for the cards, mini, and then you even have the names and everything. So
now, what's this for?
that's for for Oda's sidekicks, which we will look at. So
Yeah.
so he gets 2 sidekicks, which he's not the first one to have 2 sidekicks. The interesting thing about Oda is, right, because Yanenga had 2 sidekicks,
Right.
the 2 archers, which had 2 health each. Oda has 2 honor guard with 6 health each.
Which as well he should.
So if you want to look at those. So very interesting. I'm very excited to see how Oda and Tomoe play.
So the only thing I will say is
Mhm.
these are really nice.
Yeah.
The only thing is there's 2 different clan symbols here. So I think that is your favorite, the Honda clan, and this is the Tokugawa clan. So there's actually 2 different clan tokens.
Mhm.
So
Not the Oda clan, I guess.
nope.
And then it looks like, so here on the, because you have 2 honor guard, they're the same ones, but so I guess the red one here is you use that health dial, blue guy use that
Yes.
blue health. So I guess it makes sense to differentiate the 2.
Historically incorrect, but it's okay. The thing is I really like the way they did that brown. It looks like parchment.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really nice.
Very nice. And then obviously you can put them in there. Okay. I think we got to go over Oda a little bit first. So Oda Nobunaga. So he's a melee character, same with the honor guard. 13 health, which is not, I mean, it's not a lot compared to other characters, but it's still not horrible. Move of 2. Honor guards, he has 2 of them, has 6 health each, but then his ability is Master Strategist. Other friendly fighters in Oda Nobunaga zone add +1 to the value of their played combat cards, but he does not benefit from this. So his sidekicks will get +1 to the value of their combat cards if they're in his zone. So that is pretty good.
Now, are they ranged or they?
They are all melee.
Melee. Okay.
So let's move that over. So we have Oda's stuff. Let's just kind of look at some of his cards here. So he's got an immediately cancel all effects on your opponent's card. I know
that's my.
He loves that.
Yeah,
so
love that.
It's actually basically a 3 value feint, but only on defense.
Okay.
So that's interesting. He's got a pretty heavy attack here. Student of War. After combat, 5 attack. After combat, draw a number of cards equal to the amount of combat damage dealt to the opposing fighter. So that's pretty good. And then here's some any cards. So he's got Fire and Flames. If the opposing fighter is flanked, this card's value is 5 instead. So now, what is flanked?
I was just about to ask you.
So that's a new rule for the set.
Okay.
And if we look here, so Oda Nobunaga flanking. Some of Oda Nobunaga's cards have effects that happen when an opposing fighter is flanked. An opposing fighter is flanked when they are adjacent to 2 or more fighters under your control. So Oda and his honor guard. Other friendly fighters do not count towards this effect.
So basically 2 guys got to be
next to the enemy.
So that's fine.
So in this example, so you have, let's say, this honor guard's attacking, but you also have this other honor guard that's adjacent. So as you can see on there,
right.
So you have 2 honor guard next to each other, so they're flanking the enemy. So I guess you gotta kind of swarm with the honor guard a little bit. So
okay,
interesting.
It's more like it's surrounded though.
It's
flank,
it's similar.
Flank is in behind.
But it's similar to the Raptors, because the Raptors get +1 for each other Raptor that's adjacent to the enemy.
Okay.
Kind of similar, but you only have the 2 honor guard.
Okay.
So if the opposing fighter is flanked, this card's value is a 5 instead. That's an any card, so the honor guard can use it. So Oda doesn't have to. Sun and Moon, the opposing fighter is flanked, ignore the value of your opponent's card, but that's only a 2. His Honor Guard have a pretty decent attack here of a 4. Immediately, if the opposing fighter is flanked, cancel all effects on your opponent's card. But then after combat, you move your fighter up to 2 spaces.
But also, too, you figure, like even you said, this one is a 2, but if they're in the same zone as Oda,
they're
they
getting
get a +1, so
exactly.
it's 3. So it's
exactly.
So you gotta have a good strategy and good board placement.
He actually has 4 of these battle maneuvers. Draw 1 card, then move each of your fighters up to 2 spaces. 4 of them. That's crazy. And then he even has some schemes in here. Reinforce. Choose 2 different effects. Each friendly fighter recovers 1 health. Draw 2 cards. Gain 1 action. So you get to choose 2 different ones. And then he also has Demon King of the 6th Heaven. Deal 2 damage to each opposing flanked fighter. And he's got some other stuff here. But I think it's time to get to Tomoe. So, I mean, while I'm opening the Tomoe cards, quick thoughts on Oda before we haven't played, obviously. We're opening the thing, so...
I think because of he's got 13 health.
Yeah.
I think you're going to have to really use the sidekicks a lot. His Honor Guard's going to have to be used a lot. Movement's going to be there, making sure they're in the zone with him.
Right.
And it seems like if they're going to get +1, you're going to have to figure out who's going to attack, because let's say it's the 4 and Oda can do it, but if they're in there, it would be a 5.
Right.
So I think the Honor Guard might be...
Can I be honest with you? I feel like Oda is going to be a tough cookie to fight.
Right.
Because you have 2 sidekicks of 6 health each.
Right.
That's pretty nuts.
That's what I'm saying.
You know?
Yeah.
So
I think the main thing is to try to eliminate him.
Right.
Get rid of the sidekicks.
Right. All right. Maybe you don't even bother with the sidekicks and just go for Oda, who only has the 13 health. And then there's his card back, which looks pretty sweet. Now, Tomoe here's her card backs. But she is a single fighter, no sidekicks.
Okay.
So she's ranged.
Okay.
So 14 health. Move of 2, attack of opportunity. When an opposing hero leaves, Tomoe goes in zone. Deal 1 damage to that hero.
All right,
so she gets like a little pot shot off if you're trying to flee, essentially. So
now that doesn't count if she gets out of the zone. It just depends if your opponent was out of
the zone. When an opposing hero leaves her zone. Okay. So it's kind of like a She-Hulk, Medusa kind of thing, like where you're getting a free hit in there. Right. But it's on your opponent's turn because they gotta leave. Or we'll see what her cards are, but maybe if she has an ability where it's like you can knock them out of the zone. You know what I mean?
We'll
but we'll see. Let's take a look.
You haven't looked at the cards, right?
I know we're excited for Oda, but this is insane. A 7 attack. Witness my last battle. This attack can only target a player adjacent to Tomoe. Play it face up, and then after combat, you end your turn. It's like a huge hit.
Right.
But you end your turn, no matter what, and then you have to be adjacent, and you're playing it face up.
Wow. Okay.
That's what it says. Play it face up. So your opponent might be able to defend a little bit, but she's got Fearsome Strength. Immediately, Tomoe goes and may swap spaces with an adjacent fighter. After combat, deal 1 damage to an adjacent fighter. So that's something where, like, if they're in this 2 different zones and they swap spaces and they're adjacent, then now he's not in the zone. Right? Because it says when an opposing hero leaves, Tomoe goes in zone. So, I mean, let me know in the comments down below if that's how that works, because I could be wrong. But, they're leaving the zone. So here we have 5 against thousands. After combat, if Tomoe goes and is adjacent to the opposing fighter, you may discard a card to put this card back into your hand. Pretty interesting. She's got 3 piercing shots. It's just 2 attack, but lets you draw 2 cards. Warrior's Way, move the opposing fighter up to 3 spaces. Then if they are a hero, you place a Tomoe in a space adjacent to them. That's a really cool card art there. Confront any demon or god. After combat, draw 1 card. Then if you lost the combat, look at your opponent's hand and choose 1 card for them to discard. All right. She's got a bunch of other cards here, but she also has some defense cards. Refuse to retreat. Immediately, Tomoe goes and cannot leave her space for the rest of the turn. After combat, if the opposing fighter is adjacent, your opponent discards 1 card. During combat, Tomoe goes and cannot take more than 2 combat damage this combat.
That's pretty good.
And then she also has a scheme card, which is always good. I think a deck to be nicely rounded out, you need some schemes in there. Lord Kiso's final stand. Move Tomoe Gozen up to 3 spaces. She may move through sidekicks, then choose. Tomoe Gozen recovers 2 health, gain an action.
That's when they told her to leave the battle because he didn't want to die with a female next to him.
Right.
That's
and then
samurai honor.
And then
stuff.
then she got Flash of Steel, which is basically a feint. If the opposing hero is a fighter is a hero, cancel all effects on the card, and then after combat, if the opposing fighter is adjacent, deal 1 damage to them. So I know we're both pretty excited for Oda, but Tomoe seems like she's got some pretty good stuff.
Yeah,
and I think in this box, when you have Oda and 2 6 health sidekicks who seem like Oda seems pretty beefy, you need Tomoe to be pretty tough too. So
and she has 2 more health.
She has 1 more health. She has 14.
Okay.
And then Oda's 13.
13 or 12?
13.
13. Okay.
Yeah. So I mean, listen, I'm excited. I'm very excited to get these on the table.
Yes.
I'm interested. Single fighters. There's a lot of single fighters. Bruce Lee, Jekyll and Hyde. Your 2 favorites basically. Golden Bat, another one of your favorites.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe Tomoe might be your next favorite. Who knows?
But then you have you have a bunch of all the Marvel guys.
Yeah, the Marvel characters are all single characters. It seems like Oda and the Honor Guard have a lot of synchronicity.
You know what? That seems like it's going to get a little dicey trying to figure out where to put them and what to do.
Yeah, definitely.
You know what's the hard part too is like say, certain characters like Houdini can move out of a zone.
Yeah,
that's annoying as hell.
Yeah.
So let's, I wonder how that's going to affect that.
Right. Or even let's say like Oda gets in there. Oh shoot, I'm losing health and I have no cards. I got to get out of there. Wait, you're going to get the pot shot on me and I'm going to take another damage if I leave your zone.
Right.
So you got to kind of work around that as well.
Right. But I think if you're in hand to hand, you wouldn't leave the zone. But if you had to,
if you really had to, if Tomoe was doing a lot of damage.
Well, let's say they're in Hell's Kitchen.
Right.
The 2 samurai in Hell's Kitchen. You get the items.
The items.
You can recover health and stuff.
So I'm definitely interested to play these guys, get these to the table. Speaking of which, while you're watching this video, there's also another video on our channel of us playing with this box, everything in this box. So we got the battle report up right now as we speak, as you're watching this video.
So now that you see what's in it, see how it works, even though we don't know yet. Because we're filming the unboxing right now.
We're
doing the unboxing, then we're going to play the game, and we don't know anything about it other than what we showed you.
Yes. But guys, there's some videos on the screen right now that you can check out. And like I said, check out the battle report that's posted right now. There's some other Unmatched videos we have, unboxings, battle reports, all that stuff. You can check those out. Also, our link tree is in the description. Has all of our social medias as well as our podcast is in there. Our Discord server where you can talk to us and other fellow wargamers. And our Patreon where you can help support the channel if you feel so inclined to do so. But that's it, guys. We'll see you in the next one.